It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Thank you so much for being here. I am your host for today, Kevin McIntosh. Starting things off with our top story of the day, the West Bloomfield School Board recognizing excellence from teachers and students alike. Teacher Sharice Kobilis nominated for February's Laker of the Month for her significant efforts in the classroom and beyond. School Board Secretary Ashley Davis highlighted what makes Sharice such a prized educator right here in West Bloomfield.
Sharice is a true champion for education, balancing the responsibilities of guiding a full classroom while mentoring a future educator with grace and expertise. She sees every student as a high achiever and works tirelessly to create individualized strategies that help them succeed. Beyond her teaching, Sharice leads the multi-tiered systems of support at Chico, providing invaluable guidance to fellow educators. She's also piloted a new ELA curriculum, using her literacy expertise to support both emerging readers and her peers. Her commitment, compassion, and relentless pursuit of excellence embodies the very best of our district's values. Congratulations, Sharice, and thank you for your heartfelt contributions.
At Gretschko Elementary, the honors were for fourth grader Carter Kimball, a boy known in his school for being out in front, inspiring his classmates and making the efforts of his teachers that much easier every single day. Superintendent Dr. Danya Bazzi explained what makes Carter such a superb student.
You are truly an outstanding student, leader, and role model at Gretschko Elementary. Your dedication to learning, kindness in others, and willingness to go the extra mile make a huge impact on your classmates, teachers, and school community. You are a student who doesn't just show up. You show up ready to learn, to grow, and help those around you. Whether it's tackling tough assignments, diving into new challenges, or encouraging your classmates, you lead with enthusiasm and determination.
Such a cool kid, and a cool moment for a cool kid there rocking the Lions jersey if you're watching on Civic Center TV. And Dr. Bazzi continued to explain how much of Carter's leadership in athletics is reflected in class as it helps his teammates learn, through the day-to-day challenges, just like he steps up in those critical moments on the field and on the court. If you're watching on Civic Center TV, you can see the video of the honors still going on right now. Students from Chico Elementary also played a major role at this month's school board meeting, helping their principal and teachers give the latest updates on Chico's Lakers and moving forward in their instrument and what impact it has on their kids. And what impact it has on their kids. Looks like we have some strong leaders right here in our greater West Bloomfield community and in our local schools we are proud to talk about and highlight. Music has the power to shape young minds. And this week, kids in West Bloomfield can experience it firsthand. The West Bloomfield Township Public Library is hosting the Instrument Zoo. That'll be Wednesday, February 26th, tomorrow, from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Children ages 5 to 12 will have a chance to explore different musical instruments, play some interactive games, and learn from West Bloomfield School District's Tri-M Music Honor Society. It's a hands-on way to get the kids to love music and get them more involved in instruments as well. For more details on this and other library events, you can visit them directly on their Facebook page, West Bloom LIB on Facebook, or make it easy and go directly to their website, WBLIB.org, for more information. Parents and students, this is a reminder, West Bloomfield schools will be having a late start day. That's tomorrow, February 26th. That means all morning bus routes will run exactly 1 hour later than usual. However, dismissal times will still be the same. They'll be released at around 2:30, I believe, is the traditional time. This is just a note. This is just a reminder to be sure to adjust your morning schedule accordingly to the actual calendar and the late start that'll be happening tomorrow. If you want to find out more about other days where there will be late starts or any other things going on in West Bloomfield School District, go directly to their website and look at their calendar, wbsd.org/calendar, or just make it easier yourself. Go directly to their Facebook like I did. Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools to check out all the information and updates. Here in West Bloomfield, getting outside and connecting with nature, it's easier than ever, especially in most other communities, thanks to WB Parks Discovery Days. This interactive program offers hands-on activities that makes exploring the outdoors fun for the entire family, no matter the season, even if it's freezing. I actually had a chance to check it out firsthand. Let's take a look.
It was listed as one of the activities online when you look what to do with toddlers, and it was open all day, so we decided to come between naps.
Nature Explorers Discovery Days, hosted by West Bloomfield Parks, offers families a chance to immerse themselves in Michigan's natural beauty. The self-guided program features live reptiles and amphibians, hands-on crafts, and so much more.
So we have this lovely nature room space and an outdoor natural play area. We wanted to make sure that the community had an opportunity to check out these areas that are available to them every week. So that's why we adapted our open hours into Discovery Days, so that way it would be open more frequently.
Discovery Days offers a unique way for families to connect with nature. We heard from a patron whose little one is especially fascinated by one of the attractions.
So far, it's the birds. I think she just likes touching them too, especially, but just all of it, to be honest. She's interactive with the puzzles and very fascinated by the turtle as well.
Children and families can explore at their own pace, whether they're crafting, observing live animals, or discovering the wonders of the natural play area. It's an experience that's both fun and educational, inspiring curiosity and fostering a connection with the environment.
It gives everyone an opportunity to actually see one another, because not every time in the winter you don't get to really see everyone. So rooms like this offer an opportunity for the community to get together and to learn a little bit about nature while having fun.
This free program runs on Wednesdays, making it accessible for all families in Greater West Bloomfield. Visitors say it's a wonderful opportunity to bond, learn, and appreciate the beauty of nature together.
I think it's really cool. I did not know we had half of these animals, to be honest. Yeah, I like that they have different types of crafts and it's interactive for children, and I think it's kind of cool for my age as well. Discovery
Days is a fantastic way to spark curiosity and appreciation for the nature that we have here right in our own community. If you are interested in getting involved and finding out more about Discovery Days, head over to WB Parks' website, wbparks.org, for more details on Discovery Days and more. West Bloomfield Township was recently named an honored community in the E-Cities 2024 project, highlighting its excellence in economic development, entrepreneurship, and business growth overall. But what does this actually mean to our township? Joining me right here live on The Splash is West Bloomfield Township Supervisor Jonathan Warshay. Thank you for being here, Mr. Warshay.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm happy to be here.
And we are happy to have you here. We know you are very busy, so we appreciate that. I just want to talk about this in general. This was a very interesting award and recognition that I saw online. What does this E-Cities 2024 recognition mean for West Bloomfield?
Well, what the award means is they've measured data in 54 Michigan counties. They look at property values, property tax information, governmental assets. This year, they also looked at talent attraction and retention and efforts to support small business. Okay. And 5 stars means that West Bloomfield is strong in this area and leads with best practices.
Nice. First and foremost, congratulations. That's a beautiful thing to know. Small businesses and businesses, they help with our economic growth. They provide jobs and they just make our economy look good. So to be a 5-star ranked city with that or community, it just speaks volumes. And with that, how do you feel like that reflects our overall economic growth over the past 5 years?
Well, the township has certainly had strong economic growth. We work to encourage new businesses and development within the township. We use diversified hiring techniques. We participate with local colleges and universities and even high schools to spark interest in certain high-demand fields such as police and fire. We often pay the training costs for our candidates, and when we do hire, the employees generally stay a long time as we have very competitive salary and benefits in the area.
Okay. So I once again, like I said, I think that speaks to how great not only is our residents in supporting these businesses, but the resources that are provided for our businesses for this growth. Are there any other specific initiatives or policies that you could speak on that actually help West Bloomfield stand out and receive this type of recognition?
I think, in terms of what's going on now, we're working on our master plan as we speak. We started last year the review of the current plan and how we want to proceed. Residents were asked to participate in it a couple months ago. We had an online survey where they could put areas where they wanted to indicate what they wanted to see in those areas, what type of development, what type of businesses. We're mostly built out in the township. We certainly have lakes and woodlands that we're preserving, but the rest of the buildable area is mostly built. So we're concentrating on vacant areas, vacant buildings and properties to attract those businesses.
Great. And I think it's important to make sure that we are giving and doing pretty much anything that we can to make sure that we are retaining these talented professionals. I want to speak on that coming up. With me right here live on The Splash, by the way, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, Mr. Jonathan Warshay, speaking on West Bloomfield Township recently being named an honored community in the E-Cities 2024 project by University of Michigan Dearborn College of Business, by the way. Now, kind of picking up on the retaining of the talents, how do you feel like West Bloomfield is working to retain and attract these talented individuals who are starting these businesses? And what industry specifically within our economy are you seeing the most growth in?
Well, there was several questions, so I'll try to answer all of them. In terms of attracting them, we do a lot of online sourcing. I assume most communities do that. There's a lot of word of mouth, social media. In fact, I saw someone on one social media app saying she's a recent graduate of the university in criminal justice and she'd love to work in a police department. So I messaged her and said, West Bloomfield is hiring for police, so, please apply. So, anything we can do to attract talented candidates, we'll do. We have dispatch, police, and fire paramedics. Those are the areas that all the communities in the area are noticing shortages in, and so we unfortunately have to compete with our neighbors to get the best candidates.
Right. Great point right there. And I like that you're meeting people where they are. Like you said, you even went to social media and just responded to a message just to present that opportunity that is actually going on right here. So great way to reach out and find these talented individuals that are looking for these opportunities as well. AI has been a very trending topic of discussion in business and just in general. The use of AI in economic development recently has been helping a lot of economies and communities grow. How has West Bloomfield leveraged AI or technology in general to help support local businesses?
So we haven't really adopted AI yet. We're certainly looking into that. In my last role, I was a project manager, so I'm working to implement those processes in our IT department to help it deliver services more effectively. It's basically each department is a customer of the IT department. So
Right.
we want to make sure their needs are met. And I'm also working with all of our departments on how our IT department can streamline and improve their operations.
Great, and it's great, and I thank you for being honest about that. Yes, it may not be implemented now, but it's something that we pretty much can't ignore. AI is here, it's here to stay, it's going to continuously grow. So just finding different ways of how can we effectively and efficiently use this to support our government and our local businesses is completely understandable. Thank you for providing that insight with that. And once again, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, Mr. Jonathan Warshay, just talking about West Bloomfield Township being named an honored community in the eCities 2024 project by the University of Michigan Dearborn's College of Business. Just a couple questions before I let you go, Mr. Warshay. I do want to ask just for perspective, right? How does West Bloomfield compare to other communities in Michigan when it comes to job growth and infrastructure and economic growth?
Well, we are one of the top communities for growth, given our size. We keep increasing the number of homes, apartments for residents to move to.
Mm-hmm.
And that certainly drives the demand for services and goods from the businesses. So that helps increase the numbers there. We are also one of the safest communities in the state and one of the most affluent. And those are factors that businesses look at when,
Mm-hmm.
when they're looking where to locate or expand.
And I think that's perfect. Once again, speaks to why we were named one of the honored communities in the 2024 eCities project in general. We want to go ahead and let you go, sir, but any additional information that you want to let the community know as far as goals for strengthening West Bloomfield's economy or just anything in general?
Just that our departments are focused on serving the residents and the businesses, and we'll keep working on that and working to make things even better than they are.
And we appreciate everything that you and your office does to help our economy grow and help our community and our local businesses in general. Once again, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, Mr. Jonathan Warshay. We appreciate you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Always a great time and great to be recognized for the hard work and great things in business growth that we're doing right here in West Bloomfield Township. Thank you again to West Bloomfield Township Supervisor Jonathan Warshay for that information. West Bloomfield Fire Department recently visited Chico Elementary School to educate students on fire safety. Firefighters emphasized the need for working smoke alarms, regular testings in homes, and also talked about a lot of great key things that these kids and students should know. So joining me right here, live on The Splash, to talk a little bit more about that experience from the West Bloomfield Fire Department, we have firefighter and paramedic Patrick Donovan. Thank you for being here, sir.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I think this is such a cool thing, and I'm coming from a child's perspective, to have a firefighter come to our school dressed up and just looking so heroic. So just my initial question to you is, how do you feel like the overall experience was for the students at Chico Elementary School?
Oh, I think it went very well. We have a great team. I got to bring, we had 4 members of the team come. I'd like to give a shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
We had firefighter Barnes, Quickie, and Porter with me. And they did a great job. I think the kids took it very well. We haven't been in the schools that much since COVID, so
Mm-hmm.
we're just starting a new program. And it just so happened about 3 months ago, we just started up a program and we're starting it together about developing a public education program again and getting back in the schools. And then a PTO mom reached out to us and said that Chico wanted to talk and have us do a fire safety talk with the kids. So it worked out perfectly. We got to go out there and test it out, our program, and get some feedback and maybe what we can do better in the future. So it was a great time. I think the kids loved it. So.
Man, like I said, just starting off, like I imagine that the kids, and if you're watching on civiccentertv.com, you can see the students lined up giving you their full attention. I'm just taking myself back to when I was a child, seeing like a professional step in, especially like a firefighter with all the gear looking important, and you're just so fascinated, and then they get to telling their story. But this, like we said, was more about fire safety and important tips. So what important tips or lessons do you feel like the children should have taken away from your visit there?
Yeah, a couple of them is when to call 911. So we make sure that, you know, they know the number, and if they can get a hold of a phone, to know it is 911, not 991. And the appropriate time to call it, we say, would you call 911 when you lost a game in Fortnite, you know, and of course they yell no. And then what about if your family is sick, they're having trouble breathing or chest pain or a fire or car accident? That's the appropriate time to call 911. We talked a little bit more about fire safety with candles. You know, kids don't play with candles, not to play with matches or lighters. With the fireplace or a campfire, we tell them to leave it to the parents. Make sure that you're not touching that stuff, and if you find it, give it to an adult or a parent. We also talked about smoke alarms, and we talk about, you know, like when the sound goes off, what you're supposed to do. We give them a little scenario as well. So I say, if they're sleeping and you hear a smoke alarm go off, what are you gonna do? And I make sure you're gonna be yelling for your parents. You're gonna say the smoke alarm's going off. You wanna go over to the door. You're gonna wanna feel the door, see if it feels hot to you, or the handle. And if it does a little bit, you wanna like open it. If there's a lot of smoke, we tell them, you know, immediately close that door. Because the smoke is the one thing that's gonna hurt you in a fire. So we tell them immediately close the door, put a blanket at the bottom of the door, go to the window, make sure you turn on the light. I tell them that's an important one too, because we can't see you if you're in the dark, so make sure you turn on the light.
Good point.
Go by the window, you can throw stuff out the window. And I said, you know, the fire department will be there soon. The first thing we usually do is we do a 360 around a building if it's on fire, and we're looking for, you know, kids trapped or anybody trapped and where the fire's at. Another important thing with that same scenario is that if you can get out of your room, we want you to stay low, we want you to get out, we want you to stay out. And we also want you to have a meeting spot, which is super important. That's one that we actually make them homework for them. We said, when you go home, make sure you talk with your parents about a meeting spot. It could be a big tree that's in your front yard, your mailbox, or your neighbor's house. So make sure that you have a meeting place, because when we get there, if we don't know where you're at, we're going to assume that you're inside the building. So make sure you have a meeting spot. It's a very important one. So that's and we also do the old classic stop, drop, and roll with them. Close, catch on fire to stop, drop, cover your face, and roll. So
it's good to know that classic tip has not phased out yet. The old classic stop, drop, and roll, always. And a few things that you talked about, I just want to reiterate. I love that. First and foremost, giving the scenarios to when a student should or should not call 911. It's crazy because even as an adult, some people call 911 for reasons that probably could be just another call for someone, or maybe just the local police. But you want to make sure you clear out those phone lines for that reason. Another point that you made is the smoke inhalation. That is one of the biggest drivers to having damage or injuries after a fire. Even if you aren't affected by the actual fire, that smoke, inhaling that smoke, can do a lot of damage. So thank you for highlighting that, putting that out there. I want to continuously get to a few other points, safety tips. But with me right here on the splash from the West Bloomfield Fire Department, firefighter and paramedic Patrick Donovan, talking about the firefighters' recent visit to Chico Elementary to talk about fire safety. Now, getting back into those tips, there's a few other specific scenarios I want to talk about that I believe you brought up there. Having your bedroom door closed. Why is it important to have your bedroom door closed, even when you're sleeping, in case of a fire possibility?
Yeah, and that's actually one of the fire safety tips that we do say too. I forgot to mention that as well. A super important one. There's a campaign, it's called Close Before You Doze. You close the door, it protects you. So if you hear that smoke alarm that's on the other side, there could be just a lot of smoke and fire on the other side of that door, and that door will give you probably 30 minutes of protection from a fire. So when you sleep with that door closed, it's protecting you from that smoke and that fire that's on the other side of that door, and it'll keep you safe until the fire department can come and rescue you from that window.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. Donovan. I sleep with my door open very often, or at least cracked. So this is something that I even have to take into account. Something that we may have all looked over, but that is just something, another extra preventative caution or extra preventative step that we can all take in case of that emergency. Another thing I want you to talk about, the importance of cleaning your dryer vent. Can you just talk about how this can also be a fire hazard?
Yeah, so it's actually a pretty common fire. We've had a few of them recently. So it is something important to talk about and make sure you're cleaning your dryer vent, not just your lint trap, but also the dryer vent that's going all the way to the outside. It's something that people miss commonly, and you can have it professionally cleaned, or you can do it yourself. But that lint in there, once it gets it gets hot in there, it can ignite. It hits the ignition temperature because the dryers do produce a lot of heat. So if you do have a fire in there and all that lint is extremely flammable, and as soon as that stuff ignites, the fire will grow exponentially. So it's very important to make sure you keep your dryer vents clean.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where, in a household, you could mess around and set your dryer up to go and then go maybe make a run or go to the grocery store, pick up the kids, and not knowing that that is also a fire hazard. It would be wise to stay home if you are running your dryer, your washer, and stuff like that. That way you can keep a close eye on those hazards. One thing,
Yep.
we spoke on escape plans. I want to go back to that very briefly because you talked about the importance of having a mutual meeting place for everyone in the house. Are there any other important factors that people should consider whenever creating an escape plan for their home?
Yeah, you should always have 2 ways out of every room. So whether it's your bedroom, you have your door getting out, or a window, and every other place in your house, you should have a way. At least if you're in the living room, you have your rear door and your front door. You should always have 2 ways out. Give yourself options. You don't want to be trapped. You shouldn't have any bedrooms in the basement unless you have a fire escape down there. So you should always have 2 ways out of each room and each area of your house.
Seems like common sense, but common sense isn't common. And once again, it means a lot more coming from a professional like yourself. With me right here live on The Splash from West Bloomfield Fire Department, firefighter and paramedic, Mr. Patrick Donovan, talking about their recent visit to Chico Elementary in West Bloomfield, giving them fire safety tips and best practices to deal with in case of those emergencies. We talked about how the students may feel from that experience, but what about you and from your point of view? What were some of the things that you gained from this experience teaching the kids at Chico?
It was a pleasure. So some of the kids in there, they're really funny. Yeah. They make you laugh, and when we came out of it, we had some good stories, because the kids they are characters, So, and then the teachers I thought were also really good. I enjoyed talking to each one of those teachers. They're really that school has some really fine teachers, or has fine teachers. So, it was a pleasure just to meet all the kids and meet the teachers and get out and, like I said, talk to the public. We haven't been doing it as much since COVID, so it was a pleasure to go out and actually talk to the community a little bit. So.
Nah, I think that means a lot, like I said, for the students, for the community, and obviously for yourself as well. Can you just talk about, maybe there's a kid that'll watch this over and maybe it was inspired at that actual event. Can you just talk about some of the most rewarding parts of being a firefighter right here in West Bloomfield?
West Bloomfield, we are supported great. We have so much support by the community, by the township. It's great. So it's hard to even describe how much fun we have. Like we have at our stations, I work with like my best friends. I have a great crew. We get to hang out, we bond, and then we go out and we get to help people. It's like it's a dream job. I encourage almost anybody that's having trouble thinking about what they want to do when they're older, when they want to grow up. Think about being a firefighter. It's a rewarding job. And like I said, you get to hang out with some of your best friends, and then you get to go do some good deeds as well. So it's a very rewarding career.
It's good to hear that you enjoy your career, you're passionate about it, and you enjoy the people that you work with. That's all you could ever ask for. Mr. Donovan, we appreciate you. Any last messages or words for the community you want to give before we let you go?
Test your smoke alarms, and have a meeting spot, create that. For kitchens, make sure that when you're cooking, if you have a grease fire, don't put water on it. You're gonna want to cover it, smother out the oxygen, and turn the heat off, so you're gonna turn the gas off. But also the smoke alarms is the most important. That's what's going to save your life if there's a fire at nighttime. So make sure you're testing those smoke alarms.
Please do. Can never test it too much. Once again, from the West Bloomfield Fire Department, firefighter and paramedic, Mr. Patrick Donovan, we appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime, anytime. Great to have local authorities on the show to give out great tips and practice and visit our local elementary schools to teach our kids the same. We always appreciate that. Coming up, we will be talking about upcoming events and new establishments in the greater West Bloomfield area you might want to pay a visit to. We'll talk about that coming up. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem. Don't let your gambling cause you financial hardship. If you or someone you love is struggling with gambling, we can help. Get free confidential counseling and win your life back. Learn more at michigan.gov/problemgambling.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiver.
This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh. Art Sale is looking for artists and crafters for the 2025 season of Kego Harbor's Block Parties event. It is absolutely free to participate, and this will be happening later on in the year. We actually just recently had an opportunity to speak with President of Art Sale, Robin LaFrance, and our very own Jake Schaff has the interview.
And here to tell us more about what Art Sale is looking for, we have the president of Art Sale, Robin LaFrance, joining us right now on The Splash. Robin, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy to have you with us, and really excited to be getting into this conversation because it means that spring and summer are coming very, very soon. I'm getting tired of winter. I'm sure a lot of people are as well. But what are you most looking forward to as the spring season is coming up and these opportunities for Art Sale starting to rise?
Well, we're looking for artists to fill the shows. We have 3 shows for the Block Party season, and they're the third Friday of June, July, and August. So if you're interested, you can apply to the Art Sale group email, which is artsale.kego@gmail.com, and I'll send you an application, and we can get started with there.
Awesome. And can you walk us through the process of applying to be a part of such an event like this? And what are some of the key steps and requirements for artists who want to showcase their work in this incredible way?
Well, it's free to all artists to show and sell their work, and number one, which is fantastic because where do you get that anymore? And everything has to be handmade by you. So we don't allow buying and reselling because it is a authentic art show. Even though it's small and casual, we still are a little bit juried, but it is a casual show. And once you're accepted to it, we're hoping to get a lot of local artists from the Lakes area, which we have a giant talent pool here. So we're hoping people show up for it. You have to have your own shelter and display and setup.
Well, you are certainly right, and it's great that you mentioned that you guys are prioritizing handmade works because those take, I would say, a lot more skill, and it's always great to see those on display because that really showcases the creativity of the Kego Harbor community. And are there any specific guidelines or restrictions for what can be sold at this event or the types of handmade works that you're looking for?
We pretty much accept all categories as long as it's family friendly, because we are a family event. So pottery, art, painting, sewing, it really doesn't matter as long as it's artistic and handmade by you.
That's absolutely
right. And
right.
it fits the criteria,
That's absolutely right. As long as it fits those requirements, there could be a wide variety of things on display for these events. So I'm sure artists are already.
We do get a wide variety of artwork, so we're looking forward to that.
How does Art Sale ensure that participating artists have a supportive and collaborative environment at events like these?
Well, Art Sale is a group run by artists for artists, so we are very inclusive and accommodating for artists. And I'm always there. If I, for some unforeseen reason, I can't be there, I'll send someone in my place. But you can always get a hold of me if you have an issue or anything, and I try and help everybody direct setup. And the Art Sale group is coming up on 9 years together now. I can't believe it. I joined in 2016 when it started as I moved to Kego. So I have an anniversary with Art Sale coming up and an anniversary of being a resident of Kego Harbor.
That's great. Happy anniversary, and it's great to hear of how much and how big Art Sale has grown over the years. For those just joining us right now on The Splash, we have the president of Art Sale, Robin LaFrance, joining us to talk about what Art Sale is looking for the upcoming spring and summer season as the Kego Harbor block parties are starting to begin their preparations very, very soon. And Art Sale emphasizes the camaraderie and exchange of ideas among their participants. How does this sense of community enhance the overall experience for both the artists and the attendees?
Well, it's been a big inspiration for me since I joined, and I think that's a big part of it. We inspire each other. We also share our work on the group page. We also try and create events that are friendly to artists and crafters. And also on the page, we try and share a lot of opportunities for artists and crafters, even if they're not created by the Art Sale group itself. So it's a great network to be involved in. If you are a working artist, you can stumble on a lot of opportunities.
It's a fantastic opportunity. You're absolutely right. And can you talk a little bit more about how Art Sale helps to foster these connections between local artists, supporters, and the wider Kego Harbor community?
Well, we try and Art Sale is not just for artists. We encourage fans of the art, so it brings a sense of culture to our community. And we'd love to incorporate the residents that aren't artists and crafters to support the arts and enjoy the arts.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are watching this right now, already getting ideas for what they're going to be showcasing at these events come spring and summer. Robin, one more quick question before I let you go. What role do social media, like the art sale, Facebook page, website, all of that, what do they play in promoting these events and connecting with potential participants and attendees?
That's a fantastic question because I do most of the social media myself, and it's huge. It would, these days people don't read the newspaper. They don't really look at flyers and posters anymore locally. So we really have to use social media to our advantage. And I'm really involved in that. So I appreciate that question.
Well, we appreciate everything that you do for the Kego Harbor community. Robin, we thank you so much for your time and joining us on The Splash today.
Well, thank you, and stay warm.
Thank you again for that interview, Jake. Another great event happening in our greater West Bloomfield area. We're all looking forward to Art Sale in Kego Harbor, which will be happening this year, and we'll keep you updated as we get closer to that time. A new alternative wellness establishment opens in greater West Bloomfield, now at 2276 Orchard Lake Road in Sylvan Lake, providing innovative whole-body treatments to greater West Bloomfield area. And I'm happy to actually be joined by chiropractor and director of Hyperbaric Wellness Center, Dr. Tony Abudeeb. Thank you for being here, doctor.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
We appreciate the time. We know it's extremely valuable. Just want to get into a little bit of the story behind this and the benefits of hyperbaric chambers. Can you just start off by telling us what inspired you to bring Hyperbaric Wellness Center to the greater West Bloomfield area?
Well, I have different locations. I have one location in Traverse City. I've had it for about 15 years, and we decided to open another location in Grand Rapids after COVID hit. And then we did that. And then we noticed a lot of people coming from Grand Rapids up to Traverse City to get treatment. We have a few people from West Bloomfield, southern area of the state coming up to Traverse City and Grand Rapids. And then everybody is asking, when are you going to open one down here? And so on and so forth. And then I've always been an entrepreneur, and I love treating patients. I've been doing this for 37 years, and I said, you know what, we're just gonna have to go ahead and do it. And then we did some research. It took us about a year to decide to go ahead and pull the plug. And then we decided to come to West Bloomfield. I have my sister lives here in Windsor, and then with her we have a lot of people looking for alternative care like what you have here. Nobody else has really what we have here once we get going with the conversation. So I decided to go ahead and pull the plug, bring it over here. People come over here to check on the clinic, say, I just can't believe what you have over here. I can't believe you waited that long. So anyway, I do functional medicine, I do functional neurology, and everything. The whole thing came into play. Everything works together. And then that's why I decided to bring it down here to help a lot of folks who need that service, really, in a nutshell.
Nice. Thank you for bringing that right here to our greater West Bloomfield area. A unique alternative wellness solution. With that being said, can you explain how hyperbaric oxygen therapy works, and what are the actual benefits that residents can get from it?
Okay. So pretty much I'll make it easy and simple. We all breathe. You have to breathe. You have to take in oxygen to live. So the older we get, we have less oxygen coming in. So we use the oxygen to increase healing, decreases inflammation, and increases immunity, to name a few. So what we do is we put the patient in the chamber. We give them a cannula or a mask. The chamber is being compressed with air, not oxygen. So they're taking that air through the cannula or through the mask, and then we compress the chamber. So you're giving the patient more oxygen. Now you're compressing the chamber. You're giving more pressure in there. So that oxygen that's being taken in through the cannula or the mask is being forced into the body and gets picked up by the red blood cells through the plasma, which is a fluid in the body, to go to the area that needs it the most. What kind of people we see here? All kinds. People looking for longevity, anti-aging, cancer patients who are looking to help with their cancer treatment, since cancer does not like oxygenated environment. Enhances the effectiveness of the chemotherapy, the radiation, Alzheimer's patients, dementia patients, post-stroke, Parkinson's, traumatic brain injuries, post-concussion, diabetic neuropathy, just really to name a few, or just people really, they're not getting better in their treatment, whatever they are.
Right.
They just come in and say, I just wonder if that hyperbaric is going to help me. People these days go to Google and look. Most of these people come here that already been around, that have been everywhere, like, okay, I got to try this. I need to see if this is going to help me or not. And then this clinic over here, and again, I just mentioned earlier, we do functional medicine, functional neurology. So when the patients come here for, let's say, for the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, we treat them as a whole. We just say, okay, we're going to put you in the chamber, and then we'll see you tomorrow or the day after, whatever. We're just going to have to see where the problem is coming from. Is it problems of immune disease? Is it inflammation? Of course, everything comes from inflammation. So you get to the bottom of this. If the patient needs it, if the patient have their own doctor, that's all they need oxygen, that's okay. Well, that's what we'll do. If they need the extra help, then we'll go out of our way to help them out with, we do whole body scans to scan the patients for everything from food sensitivities, environmental sensitivities, bacteria, virus, yeast, mold, to name a few, to see where the inflammation is coming from and to help them with their treatment in a nutshell.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Good to know. I'm going to be honest, a lot of scientific words that kind of went through there, but I'm assuming ultimately great effort, another great method for us to take alternative wellness seriously and not have to go through the traditional healthcare options that we are used to. With that being said, with me right here live on the Splash, chiropractor and director for the Hyperbaric Wellness Center in Sylvan Lake, Dr. Tony Aboudib, talking about the benefits of hyperbaric oxygen therapy and more. Something that just came to my head, Doctor, I definitely feel like I want to ask you this just off of my head. There was recent news of dangers of a hyperbaric chamber locally in our community. Can you just reiterate some of the steps and precautions that you and your establishment takes to make sure people are getting the benefits and less of the risk from this hyperbaric oxygen therapy? Yes, of course. I knew if you didn't bring it up, I was going to bring it up myself. So we had a patient here earlier come in before I got on Zoom, and he came and asked me the same question. So we see a lot of people calling in asking about the same question. And then I explained to him, and I'm going to explain to you, and I showed him a clip from Fox News in Grand Rapids. They came 2 weeks ago Wednesday, and they did clip the difference between the chamber where that boy died and then here in Troy, and then the chambers that we have. And it's easy to explain, straightforward. And I already brought that up earlier to you when I told you the chamber, we compress the chamber over here, we compress it with air. We don't compress it with oxygen. So the oxygen, the difference with those chambers, the chambers is a chamber. So you either fill it with 100% oxygen, the whole chamber, okay? Or you could fill the chamber with regular air, and you just give the patient oxygen through the cannula or the mask. That's it. So when you compress, so the delivery of the oxygen is different, but the results are the same. So oxygen, of course, everybody knows oxygen is combustible, and then really you have to really be careful with those kind of chambers. What you bring in, and then we do the same here over here. So this is pretty much really the difference is the whole with that particular chamber was full 100% with oxygen. With us, the only oxygen going to be taken in is through a mask or a cannula. You inhale that oxygen, we compress the chamber. Remember, oxygen heals. We give you more. We compress the chamber. That the oxygen you taken in through your nose is being compressed through your body to go to the area that needs it the most. Like I said, we've been doing this for a long time. It's really safe. It's really different than the other chambers that they have in the hospital or those facilities. To me, the other one's a lot riskier. There's a risk everywhere you go, but with us, really, it's really safe. Let's put it this way. I hope that you understand the answer, and I hope that your listeners understand that, because
really, we see miracles happen with that chamber. Been doing this for a long time, and that's why you see me here to give hope to the hopeless. To be honest with you, I don't have to be here. I live in Traverse City. I could be up there sitting watching the water, but I've been doing this for a long time. I like to see people get better and heal, and we see them here every day. I don't think people, and I said people, it always comes to people's mind. I don't know, I'm scared because they don't know the difference. And this is really the difference here. This is just the chambers we have here and all other locations. They're not compressed with oxygen, it's compressed with air.
Right, and thank you for clarifying that and bringing that to the forefront, as a lot of people may be thinking about that. We're kind of running low on time, Doctor, but one last thing. You want to give out a message or a note to the community about hyperbaric oxygen work therapy or your establishment in general?
Okay, so I wanted to tell you three things. I think if people could go to hyperbaric.com in general, they could see a lot of testimonial. Lady post-stroke, she drove all the way from Madrid to Traverse City. She's now sent us a video. She's riding her horse. We have another patient down up there, also Traverse City, with trigeminal neuralgia. That pain is gone. And of course, we have another lady down in Grand Rapids with skin lesions that didn't know what to do with it. And then she came in about 15 visits, her skin cleared up. Nice. In a nutshell, this clinic is an alternative holistic clinic that treats or helps treat with everything, really. We take you in, like I said, I'm a functional medicine doctor. So we treat the patient from head to toe. We order blood work, saliva testing, anything has to deal with inflammation. We do ozone, which is O3 to get rid of to detox the body from bacteria, virus, yeast, mold. We have a Theta chamber, one of a kind. There's nothing like it in the whole state. They're all in my 3 locations. And this works on the brain, on the Theta state, works on ADHD, stress, anxiety, depression, addiction, PTSD, OCD, you name it. This is one of a kind. We love people to come and meet me, come and get a free consultation. We give them a tour. We have special they could get in. They could try anything for about $100 the first visit, just to see what it feels like. And then I'm gonna just leave it to there.
All right. Hey, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate your time, and thank you for bringing another alternative wellness solution to Greater West Bloomfield. Once again, chiropractor and director for the Hyperbaric Wellness Center in Sylvan Lake, Dr. Tony Aboudi. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you as well. You want to find out more information, go to hyperbaricwellnesscenter.com for more on that establishment. And keeping things local, Larry Pliska, founder of West Bloomfield-based Planterra, was inducted into the International Plantscape Hall of Fame for his pioneering work in interior landscaping. So joining us on the splash is the actual owner and founder of Planterra West Bloomfield, Mr. Larry Pliska. We appreciate you for being here.
Yeah, hi. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, congratulations on your honor, sir. What does it mean to you to be inducted into the International Plantscape Hall of Fame?
It was a very humbling, unexpected award. And it's the gratitude that I have. It's reflecting 50 years of passion and love for what I do.
And how do you feel like this recognition ultimately reflects your entire journey that you've had with your establishment, Planterra?
How does it reflect? It just, the acknowledgement of recognition is nice to see, and it's nice to have. And like I said, it's totally unexpected. I wasn't planning on even being inducted into the Hall of Fame. But they do this once a year and for the industries. It's called the Tropical Plant Industry of the United States. And actually, it's international, too. So it is a pretty good size, big deal to be inducted.
I would agree with that. I want you to kind of take us back to the story, the beginning. What inspired you to even start Planterra in, from what I'm seeing, 1973, and talk about some of the challenges you faced while growing it?
Well, you know, I was a draftsman working for the auto company, drawing cars when I was a young guy, and when I graduated from school. And, the technology called the CAD system took my job away, so I was no longer a draftsman. So I took a trip to the tropics, and I fell in love with plants, and that started my career. And the challenges weren't immediately recognized because the beauty of the plants, they sold themselves. But I certainly found out and realized how important it was to listen to my customers to provide good service to them, the best service that I could do.
Well said. Well said. And that just speaks to, you know, how you were recognized for your work and your passion and how you shifted your careers. You know, that could have been a downfall for a lot of people, but you chose to take another direction based on your interests, and you just organically flowed to this, and that's a beautiful thing. I want you to just briefly speak on how West Bloomfield has influenced the growth and success of Planterra over the years.
Well, West Bloomfield has always been a great growth community. And the location that we are in right now was previously called Walled Lake. The original greenhouses and farm was built by the Johnson family in the 1940s. And I purchased the property back in the 1980s. And the place, you know, this environment has good positive energy and good vibes. And so that's how my company grew once we got established.
Yes, essentially the support from the local community. You also putting your love and your passion out there for people to gravitate towards it and also be interested in it, and to also, you know, hire you for your services as well in their homes, in their business. Speaks volumes. With us right here live on The Splash, owner of Planterra West Bloomfield, Larry Pliska, talking about being inducted into the International Plantscape Hall of Fame. Now, I don't want to hold you up too much longer, sir, but I do want to speak on this. Planterra is now a family-run business. What does it mean to you to see your sons continuing your legacy?
Well, first of all, I'm very proud of both of my sons, Shane and Zach. They're running the family business, and they're doing a great job. And they're bringing, you know, they're providing healthy environments for our customers, which brings in fresh air, fresh breathing air, gives you good thoughts, and it provides positive outcomes of our business. There's also, you know, a spiritual sense of dealing with plants, and you know, a lot of people don't realize that our economy depends on the very ecology it's threatening to destroy. And society depends on a healthy economy, but a healthy economy depends on a healthy environment. So I've been saying this for 40 years, that the environment and health go together. And the environment is very important for us to continue our existence. So yeah, I have a lot of gratitude for my two sons that are taking over the company. And when we did the Renaissance Center, the tranquility of nature can provide us peace in our caverns of concrete and steel. And that was inspired by being inside the Renaissance Center. With all the trees that we put in, we had the flying trees, and this was back in the 70s. It was the largest interior installation of plants in the United States at the time.
Wow.
So you know, so the future of Planterra, I think, includes the growing and continue of providing beautiful environments. I mean, that's what motivated me in the first place.
Right.
Because I was just doing what I love to do, creating a nice environment for people and healthy environments with great plant designs. And throughout the metropolitan area, you'll see atriums that I planted back in the 80s and the 90s, and they're still functioning, they're still alive. We service them all. And we were one of the first companies in Michigan to start this business of interior landscaping.
Nice. Congratulations for being a pioneer in that lane and in our area and doing great work. Any last messages or words or notes for the community before we let you go, sir?
Just the fact that nature is part of our being, and we need to incorporate it as often as we can. That's about it, you know, just live plants and interiors. Like I said, help you breathe better and help you think better, which equals good actions.
Right.
So your reaction to good actions, you know, good actions are inspired by living in a healthy environment.
Well
So
said.
I don't know the best way I could say it.
No, I think that was perfect. And we want to thank you again for adding that new point of view to life and talking about the importance of plants. And congratulations again for being inducted into the International Plantscape Hall of Fame. Once again, owner of Planterra West Bloomfield, Mr. Larry Pliska. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Great information and great opportunity to highlight local business owners and all the great work they're doing. Visit them on their website, planterra.com, Planterra.com. We appreciate you all for watching and listening to us again right here at Civic Center TV. I've been your host for today, Kevin McIntosh. Per usual, we are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.